we have seen with Obama, with Bush, with presidents of either party, usually an attempt within the first year to get along with Russia, and in some crisis, Ukraine, Georgia, the shooting down of aircrafts over Ukraine, blow it up. And so the question is, what is that crisis point? And we are already at a crisis in terms of the relationship between the U.S. and Russia's involvement in the U.S. election. So the very fact of this meeting happening, I think, probably wouldn't have happened under most U.S. presidents. And so I think, the U.S. and Russia should get along. There are plenty of issues, nuclear proliferation being the most important, where we can work together. But it's the question is on what terms, right?
Yeah,
on what terms?
It is interesting, Gabe, because we've talked about this before. I'm a student of history, and as you look back at the number of presidents who have had to deal with Russian leaders, whether it was under the Soviet Union or as the Russian Federation, it's been fraught with danger. President Obama famously, during his debates with Mitt Romney, suggested that Russia was a second-rate nation, and that the 90s called, I don't remember the exact phrase that he used, but it was sort of to suggest that Russia was not even a factor in geopolitics anymore, and that's clearly not the case.
Which probably contributed to the bad relationship that he had with President Putin.
Of course it did. It was a fundamental misreading of what Russia's national interests are as it relates to the rest of the world. And I wonder, we say, look, Vladimir Putin doesn't have to worry about polls. He doesn't have to worry about re-election. He can do what he wants. He's got a broad brush to do what he wants, whereas American presidents are beholden to their constituents, the American people, the polling, and elections. And so that, I think, makes it feel as if the Russians have a long game. And that game isn't predicated on the 2020 midterms, the 2018 midterms or the 2020 elections. It's predicated on where Russia will be standing on the world stage in years and perhaps even decades to come. What do you think it is?
I think, well, for Putin, again, it is this idea of delivering Russia back onto the global stage. But it's broader than that. It's about reasserting its influence in sort of post-Soviet states that were previously part of the Soviet Union. It's about reasserting its influence in the Middle East in particular, and that's what the war in Syria is about, not only propping up support for Assad, but also in other parts of the world, and being sort of expanding Russian commerce around the world. In part, we see, for example, cooperation between Russia and Venezuela and other countries in Africa, and this idea that Russia is not, as I think Obama mistakenly characterized it, a second-rate power, but it really is a global player, both in economics and politics.
Yeah. Right, Gabe Lipton, thank you so much. I don't know if you're going to be with us for the rest of the day. I don't think so, right?
I'm not sure. Maybe around, but we can chat more.
Yeah, definitely.